Success looks a lot like failure, up until the moment you break through the finish line. Belgium, a country of just over 11 million, isn't historically known for being a footballing powerhouse, unlike many of its neighbors, such as France, Germany, or the Netherlands. Throughout the entirety of its existence, the Belgians have achieved gold only once, that in the Antwerp Olympics in 1920. Belgium's first successful period started in the 80s and 90s, with them being runners-up in Euro 1980. Under coach Guy Thies, they reached both the Euro 1980 final and the World Cup 1986 semi-final, falling to eventual winners West Germany and Argentina respectively. During this era, Belgium qualified for every World Cup between 1982 and 2002. This period also saw many icons of Belgian football, such as Jan Keulemans, Enzo Schifo, Mark Wilmots, Eric Gerrits, Frankie van der Elst, and the two goalkeepers, Jean-Marie Pfaff and Michel Prudhomme, who both were named best goalkeepers in the World Cups 1986 and 1994 respectively.
Kompany now, free kick, Totti! Italy in front!
But then, Belgium failed to reach 5 consecutive major tournaments, from the Euro 2004 to Euro 2012. And in the meantime, Belgium slipped an all-time low 71st position in the FIFA World Rankings in June 2007, behind the likes of Togo, the DRC and Jamaica. Fast forward a few years, Belgium was the country to hold the peak position in the rankings for the longest time in the 2010s and went as far as claiming 3rd place in the 2018 World Cup, marking one of the most meteoric rises international football has seen in recent decades. The country also produced several world-class players such as Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Vincent Kompany, Thibaut Courtois, Romelu Lukaku and many more. But as the team collectively won nothing and never reached a final, they are often dubbed as one of the biggest failures in international football and a supposed waste of generational talents. Belgium's status as a force in international football was established prior to the 2014 World Cup. The new generation of talented Belgian under-21s had qualified for the Olympics in 2008 and finished 4th. Under former international Mark Wilmots, the team rose to 5th in the FIFA rankings in October 2013. And this team was backed by many as the underdogs for the tournament in Brazil the year after. Belgium had the youngest squad among the European nations in the tournament, as all their exciting star players were aged between 21 and 25. Although the team being internationally less experienced, Wilmots was credited with giving the group self-confidence as well as discipline. The team had broad attacking options, with 26-year-old Kevin Mirallas, a 21-year-old Romelu Lukaku in his season-long loan to Everton, a 23-year-old Christian Benteke, and a 19-year-old Divock Origi coming on from the bench as a super sub. Dries Mertens had Neapolitans questioning whether Maradona was really that good after all over Napoli. Belgium's main strengths lied in their midfield, with the likes of 23-year-old Eden Hazard reaching the peak of his powers with Chelsea, Kevin De Bruyne transforming himself as a world-class playmaker at Wolfsburg, as well as one of the most technically gifted box-to-box midfielders, Moussa Dembele, a 26-year-old Marouane Fellaini who joined Man United the year prior, and Axel Witsel, who was then offering his services to Zenit St. Petersburg in Russia. The solid backline consisted of long-term Man City defender and captain of the Red Devils Vincent Kompany, the prolific centre-back pairing of Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld, who would bring their world-class partnership to North London at Spurs, a vastly experienced Daniel van Buiten, and Thomas Vermaelen of Arsenal, who would join Barcelona just after the end of the tournament. In goal, they had a certain Thibaut Courtois serving his long loan spell at Atletico Madrid, and Simon Mignolet, who was still Liverpool's first choice at that time. Belgium topped their group containing Algeria, Russia and South Korea with all 3 wins. In the round of 16, they beat the USA 2-1 in a match where Team Howard set a World Cup record of 16 saves in a single game, but eventually fell short to eventual runners-up Argentina 1-0 in the quarterfinals. More attacking threats such as Adnan Januzaj, Radja Nainggolan, Michy Batshuayi added up to the team's potential. The team, however, lacked depth in a couple of positions, mainly in fullbacks, which would become a serious problem for them in the upcoming years. Vincent Kompany suffered a groin injury which ruled him out of the Euro 2016 in France. And other than that, the squad remained the same going into the tournament. Belgium began the Euro 2016 campaign against Antonio Conte's Italy. But even though Belgium having the stronger side, the Italians won 2-0. The next match they faced the Republic of Ireland and comfortably defeated them 3-0. In their final group game against Sweden, they won 1-0 thanks to a 84th minute Nainggolan goal. In the round of 16, they met Hungary, whom they ended up crushing 4-0. Wales were their quarter-final opponents and Belgium were the heavy favourites going into the game. But even after scoring first, Wales ended up defeating them 3-1. The board's decision was to immediately sack Wilmots and bring in former Swansea and Everton boss Roberto Martinez. A questionable decision at the time, considering he was sacked by Everton after finishing 11th in consecutive seasons, and before that he won the FA Cup with Wigan but also got relegated with them from the Premier League. And also the fact that Louis van Gaal, after his stint in the 2014 World Cup with the Netherlands, was reportedly interested in the job. Belgium became a possession-based team under Martinez. To tackle the lack of depth at fullbacks, Martinez implemented a 3-4-3 system, predominantly using a solid back three of Vertonghen, Kompany and Alderweireld, with wing-backs like Yannick Carrasco and Thomas Meunier being crucial to providing width in attack. The system was designed to accommodate Belgium's top attacking midfielders, De Bruyne and Hazard, by positioning them alongside Romelu Lukaku, Dries Mertens, or even Michy Batshuayi and Adnan Januzaj. Under this new system, Belgium were able to implement control and fluidity, allowing them to move freely in the central areas, making them so ruthless against most teams in the qualifying rounds, and even against top-class European giants. As a result, Belgium climbed all the way to the top of the FIFA World Rankings for a brief time between 2015 and 2016, and basically the entirety between late 2018 and early 2022.
Looking for Lukaku, Torres in the way. Back in from Martins! Absolutely. And stops
Deft. Hazard is onside here and beyond the keeper and had to score.
Januzaj does go for goal and finds it superbly!
Belgium faced Panama, Tunisia and England in Group G of Russia 2018 and won all their group games. It began with a 3-0 thumping of World Cup newcomers Panama, followed by an Eden Hazard masterclass against Tunisia to crush them 5-2, and overcoming England in the final game thanks to Adnan Januzaj rocket hit. In the round of 16, they played one of the most memorable matches of the tournament and indeed of Belgian history against Japan.
Il est parti à toute allure à droite là, dans le dos de Vertonghen, c'est passé, aïe aïe aïe. Il a pas osé frapper, c'est goal.
Oh là 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 là.
Quelle erreur. Dangereuse de Vincent, il s'ouvre le terrain, le tir et le but.
Oh là là, c'est pas possible.
As they pulled off a great comeback from 2-0 down.
Vertonghen, tout ça n'est pas très académique, mais le danger. Regardez Karachi, ma but inscrit par Yann Vertonghen. Allez les gars, allez vous allez le faire, vous pouvez le faire les gars. Yann Vertonghen. Le centre d'Hazard, là c'est goal.
C'est l'année.
On t'adore Marouane. Mais évidemment ça devait venir de lui. Marouane.
With goals from Vertonghen, Fellaini and at the very dying minutes of the game,
Allez, vas-y Kevin, va au bout. Il y a une occasion exceptionnelle de la droite vers Meunier. Voilà la passe.
Ils vont le faire.
Ça va être le but. Meunier pour Lukaku.
Ils vont le faire.
Et c'est
Je l'ai dit, bordel. Je l'ai dit.
Nasser Chadli finished off a fantastic team goal. They became the first team to fight back from 2 goals down to win a World Cup knockout game since West Germany against England in 1970. With these performances, Belgium began to show their prowess to the world And after that, in the quarterfinals came one of the biggest challenges for the Belgian side. Belgium faced one of the title favorites, Brazil, and scored twice within the first 35 minutes.
But pour la Belgique. Et regardez l'usage qu'il fait de Bruyne qui a juste Meunier à côté de lui. Il frappe et c'est goal.
First through a Fernandinho own goal and then a De Bruyne thunderbolt. And then maintained their resilience despite a goal back from Renato Augusto, as Thibaut Courtois dropped one of his best performances in a Belgium shirt. Belgium recorded one of, if not the biggest win in their footballing history, and became a strong contender to win it all going into the semi-finals.
Bonsoir à tous, ce n'est que du football, mais dans quelques minutes va débuter une demi-finale de Coupe du Monde ici à Saint-Pétersbourg.
A star-studded France with the likes of Kanté and Pogba in midfield, a teenage Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, Olivier Giroud, Raphaël Varane and others awaited the Belgians. But France's pragmatism and discipline managed to overcome the flair of Belgium.
Il en suffira d'une, et il en suffira d'une avec Samuel Umtiti qui vient couper ce corner au premier.
As a 51st minute Samuel Umtiti header was the only thing to separate the teams.
Finale de la Coupe du Monde.
France's journey in the knockouts in that tournament saw Belgium as the hardest obstacle, as they went on to defeat Croatia with a 4-2 margin in the final to become world champions, as Belgium's fairy tale run and their only decent shot at winning silverware came to a close. They ended the campaign with a 2-0 victory over England in the third place matchup. Eden Hazard won the silver ball as the second best player of the tournament after Luka Modric. Lukaku finished third in the top scoring charts, and Thibaut Courtois won the Golden Glove award as the best goalkeeper in the tournament. Belgium dominated the qualifiers for Euro 2020, finishing top of their group with a perfect record. But it was also this time when Belgium stars had already peaked as a collective, leading to at times defensive lapses or lack of killer finishing. Injuries to key players affected the team, such as Eden Hazard, who at that time was starting his disastrous stint at Real Madrid. The Euros in 2020 being pushed back by a year had the most negative impact to Belgium due to their aging squad. They began their tournament by winning all three of their group games against Russia, Denmark and Finland. They beat Portugal in the round of 16 1-0 with a Thorgan Hazard stunner, but again fell short to eventual winners Italy in the quarterfinals, failing to take revenge of their defeat in 2016. But the nail in the coffin for Belgium's supposed golden generation came a year later, in the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. They began with a very unconvincing 1-0 win over Canada, then suffered a 2-0 loss to Morocco, before ending in a 0-0 draw against Croatia, in a game they needed to win to go through to the knockouts. They scored only one goal in the entire tournament. Romelu Lukaku registered a disastrous performance against Croatia, where he could easily have scored at least a hat-trick. Martinez's lack of trust in the youth players led to De Bruyne's pessimistic comments on the team to be too old to win a World Cup, caused tensions in the dressing room. Roberto Martinez stepped down as manager, as well as players like Eden Hazard and Toby Alderweireld retired from international football. The German-Italian Domenico Tedesco took the job in 2023 and integrated newer names into the Belgian squad. After Hazard's retirement, Kevin De Bruyne became the new Belgian captain. Tedesco's tenure consisted of mixed results, as Belgium were not always convincing in qualifiers, friendlies and the Nations League. Belgium's 2024 Euro group stage had a poor loss against Slovakia, a solid win over Romania and a cautious draw against Ukraine. They were knocked out by France again in the round of 16. Stars like De Bruyne and Lukaku still carried much of the creative load, as overall the squad still lacked the freshness and impact from younger players in crucial moments. Tedesco's reign as boss was also marked by dressing room issues, something not new for Belgium. This time mainly his fallout with Thibaut Courtois due to captaincy issues, causing the goalkeeper to refuse playing under his management and miss the Euros in 2024. After poor performances in the Nations League in 2024, Tedesco was sacked. Rudi Garcia was appointed head coach of Belgium on 24 January 2025, and Belgium is currently on a transition phase to the next generation of players. In international football, we generally have varying expectations from different national teams. Like how Brazil, Argentina, France or Germany are always expected to have strong squads, deliver top performances and win trophies. But with teams like Belgium, one doesn't usually expect, or at least didn't expect, a star-studded lineup and such control on the pitch when the concept of the golden generation was born. It was a remarkable era of achievements for a nation as tiny as Belgium, maintaining the status as a top-tier football country and producing many world-class talents in the process. Lack of squad depth at certain areas and lack of team cohesion might be reasons why they failed to live up to the promise and slipped every time where it mattered the most. But just because the golden generation is long gone, doesn't mean Belgium itself has.
But what is a golden generation? Yours. And you say that France and England and Spain and Germany is not a golden generation? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.